It's very hot. But it doesn't matter. We're ready for it. Give us the 80-minute games. Give us 5 of them. Who cares? It's the last cast of the year, John. Who cares?
It is. Might as well
we haven't got
maximize
anything
it.
To do.
Nope. well, there's Christmas, Mike. There's the holiday season. There's festivities.
Well, I'm already ready, John. I'm dressed up. No need to get ready for that. We're all good. We're ready to go. You got the barong on. I've got the Santa costume. We're great.
Prepare for battle.
We're gravy. So we'll bring it on. We'll see how long this one takes. There's potential to go late, especially with a Morphling. I don't think Team Dog wants to play that pace. When you've got the Drow, you do still want objectives. And we'll see if In Your Dream and Afu can really start to lock in those objectives fast. I think the emphasis has to be on Abed in terms of farm. He tends to really enjoy these snowball starts when he's got the Storm. So if he can get off to a running start on the Storm, then he is set. You know, that timing into the Bloodstone you mentioned, if he gets it quick, say 15 minutes or within the 20-minute mark, he's going to be really well off. His lane is not going to be fun though. Like a Bat Rider lane against a Storm, it should be even early on. You might see some potential for aggression with overload plays and static remnant charges, but at the same time, you're not slowing down Armel, and his level 6 is going to be very scary for our Storm. So that's something Abed's going to be really cautious about here.
Absolutely. Because Abed already got a bit of a tip there from Gabbi, so Gabbi might be feeling very confident and warmed up for this game 1. Because they did just go through 2 games of their own, but TnC looked very dominant in those 2 games. So they might just be feeling a lot of momentum as they go into this grand final now. And it's going to be a nice even start, of course, a 2 for 2 on those bounty runes. Fu going to be there along with Ice down to that bot lane, and they are going to be up against Gabbi on the Morphling. Of course, Gabbi should have the help of Febby coming in rather soon, but it looks like they were attempting to get some damage out early on onto that Drow. They don't seem to be able to catch out In Your Dream, however. He is going to be fine with that. Febby does just TP back down to the bot lane with his Astral Spirit. And of course, Polison will just continue chasing Tims down on the Shadow Shaman. Good to see Tims did actually go for the early brown boots on this Shaman, as if he didn't, he would cop so much harassment from Polison. And even with those brown boots, Polison is still kind of keeping up just with the Windlace.
Yeah, it's a really tricky lane for TnC early on. They need levels up in these heroes to really get a good pacing. Like, look at the KP. He's just isolated from the creep wave. Can't really stop the farm coming in on In Your Dream. He's just going to cop some damage. He's going to have to eat for his regen. And overall, it's a bad time. Wave is shoving in for In Your Dream, though, so he's farming under tower. Not a major issue. There is a nice pull off from Tim, so it's that same playstyle from TnC, prioritizing their pause 4. KP's just going to have to deal with it until Tims is ready to give him some space.
I think the... Tims? That's going to be all right. The Ancients did hit the creep wave once, so he's not going to get as much value. At the very least, the creep wave didn't get pulled over to the Ancients, so that's nice. He's going to pull it very far away as well, just to make sure that this Undying can't come over and contest this wave. The only thing is, with this pull, because the Ancients did attack the wave, he's not really going to be able to deny off his full creep wave, which is kind of half the point of doing this. So he does lose out a bit. However, bot lane, Febby, he might lose out on a lot, as he might die, but no, he survives on 11 HP. Fu did not have enough base damage on this Leshrac to finish him off. So it does seem as though the Team Dog, they are quite dominant down to this bot lane, not allowing Gabbi to feel very comfortable. And of course, Febby is not having a very good time on the Elder Titan either, which is a real shame for him, because as this Elder Titan, your whole kind of play is being dominant in the lane. And, well, he's going to be able to get some damage out into Fu. Now, he would rather be going onto the Tide, though, if he could be.
Yeah, and that is working out really well for Team Dog. I have to point out that Afu does start with his Blightstone, which ties in really well with early levels in Gush, so you do have to watch how far forward you step, which means that, as you mentioned, Febby's just going to struggle here for a bit. At the least, Gabbi's not being stopped from farming, so even if Febby's not getting the harassment he wants to, Gabbi on the Morphling is at level 3, he's got level 2 attribute shift, so he's not going to be under any major threat unless they do catch him with his pants down. But this is the time when Morphling can just hold that lane steady. Gives us a chance to look at that mid lane, which we haven't really talked about just yet. You are seeing Armel pull ahead of Abed, and we talked about this matchup not being very healthy for Storm early on. Armel just absolutely dominating the lane, getting a lot more creeps out, and Abed's just got to be careful here.
Oh, Abed might be dead. He's trying for the TP back, and he's barely going to make it out. Does pop the stick charge as soon as he TPs away, just in case that final tick of damage was going to come through from the Firefly. Very, very close call, but a nice TP away from Abed. And I think for Abed, as long as he doesn't die in this lane and he can still maintain the XP along with Armel, I think he's going to be generally happy with how this lane goes. Like, he's going to go with the Vortex onto Armel now, but the Static Remnant doesn't really connect. But like I said, I don't really think it matters too much if Abed's farm is affected a little bit. As long as he doesn't die and give Armel a huge level advantage, he's probably going to be pretty happy. In fact, he's even going to find the bot power rune. It's going to be a DD down to that bot lane for Abed, so he does get very, very lucky.
Storm Force!
He did have Polison around to try and secure the top rune, but it wasn't there anyway. Abed will be able to take the DD, and now he can even harass out Armel a little bit.
This is a pretty good holdout from Abed. You still worry about this initial farm from Armel. You really just worry about that level 6 timer. If Armel hits 6 and has some mana refill to play with, definitely expect a rotation onto Abed, so it's always got to be a bit cautious playing from behind like this. Still, we're starting to see some movement out. Paulson.
Oh, Tombstone going to be dropped. Armel, he's going to be alright. In fact, he might be able to farm this Tombstone. I think Abed might try for the deny, but no. With 7 sticky napalm stacks, he just can't. Bit of a waste of Tombstone there by Polison, and I think Abed might be a little bit annoyed about that, just feeding more gold away to the Batrider. Polison, he tried to contest the bounty room, but Tims is going to run in and get it off him as well. So, Polison just kind of losing out on everything there.
Yeah, it's not that smooth start you'd want for the Undying. While he's out from the lane though, In Your Dream still finding farm, so overall, I'd say this is fine. He's really just trying to find something to do while In Your Dream gets the solo XP, solo farm. KP can't really do as much. It is nighttime, but the tendency for these Night Stalkers nowadays is to just focus on farming. Maybe the second items when you make a play, but you just want that initial itemization and the initial levels up first before committing hard for a gank.
That is very true. KP, he is starting to rotate through the tree line, but he can't really get this kill on his own. It's like he might just start chipping away at the HP pool of In Your Dream, but again, it's going to take quite a while if that's the play here. Only a level 2 Void up. In fact, never mind, Armel's going to come in, and with the lasso out, you can definitely kill off this Drow. So KP was just getting it ready for him, and Armel, he's going to be able to take the first blood in this game 1 of this best of 5 grand final. It's going to be a very nice feeling out for TnC. However, Abed has rotated, would like to go onto Armel, does zip in. Armel going to run the other way. He'll go for a flame break, but I believe he might just be dead, and Abed does pick it up. In fact, KP showing himself once again on the Night Stalker. Pop the salve. Abed caught a glimpse of him. Siege Creep does attack as well. KP going to go for a quick TP away. Abed not going to try for the zip in. Is going to save his mana. And even though Armel got the first blood, I'm sure he's not too satisfied about giving the kill back the way of Abed on the Storm.
It's not... It's still worthwhile for him, but you do lose a lot of the impact of getting that first blood. The one big thing that you do get from that exchange is that you're keeping In Your Dream down. So In Your Dream was having a free lane, slows him down just a bit, dying like that, but he's still up ahead, really having a much better time than Gabbi. You can see at net worth right now, Gabbi's lagging pretty far behind. He's surviving the lane, but his farm is just not at the point you'd expect. So these stacks being built up are going to be helpful, but looks like Armel is going to claim them first, wanting that initial farm up into the Boots of Travels.
Not too surprising. Armel is going to be that kind of tempo-setting hero that you kind of want him to be, as he even found himself a nice chipped vest. I actually like this item quite a lot. Punishing your enemies for attacking you, and even the HP regen is quite nice on pretty much any hero. It's like he'll give that over to KP instead, so KP is going to be that frontline tank anyway. Almost kind of asking people to hit him now with that chipped vest. Armel has lasso up in a second, would love to get Arbed, but Arbed is going to sit forward, does take the arcane rune. Still Armel could go for a lasso and does do so. Meanwhile, Gabbi went down at the bot lane, but Arbed is going to be able to zip away.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Armel still thinking about chasing, but they'll settle for the tombstone. And that while that was happening, down to the bot lane, Gabbi did end up dying. And it was actually Ice who got the kill. Alright, so the Tide does commit the Ravage, does get the kill into the Morphling.
It's a really good pickup for Team Dog. They stall out long enough with Abed. They get the tower as well. They find a big kill. It's not been a smooth game for Gabbi. We've been saying this for a while, but his farm has just not stacked up. And if he doesn't find relief, it's going to be a slower start for the Morphling. You are putting all your eggs so far into Armel. We'll need to find some way to distribute that farm a bit better down the line. Looks like right now TnC is going to try to push the top lane, but you've already got Ice there being disruptive on the Tide. He's already got his Hood of Defiance along with an Urn. So he is very hard to shove out of here. You're going to have to throw a lot of bodies up.
Well, they are going to throw a lot of bodies first time. They're going to go straight after this Tidehunter and Ice. He's very, very tanky indeed, but he may not be tanky enough. No TPs coming in either, so Ice just still tanking all this damage. He is so tanky, however. He should eventually die, but another Anchor Smash is going to come out. Urn charge again, gush out, and they do finally kill him off.
By morning.
But man, oh man, that took so much time. And you almost lost Febby in the process.
Yeah, it's he is too farmed up in this Tide. Like, this is a lot of initial farm. He's tied up with his other cores as well. Distribution on Team Dog is very even. Only Armel is on that same level of farm. So that kind of commitment is to be expected. It looks like they might not even find a tower. Look down mid. Afu in that tree line, playing with his max. Edict is just melting the tier 1. Once this falls, you lose a lot of control on TnC's end, and they're not coming in for the defense.
Every damn time with these Leshrac pick, just hide in the tree line and do that. However, Radiant Triangle, they caught out Arbet. That's a massive pick off to get, and they are going to take down the Storm. Everything committed for it. They might even find Polisol on the Undying. He's going to go for a TP out, but it is nighttime, so KB is going to be able to get the stun off with the Void. While that's happening, Tim's actually found out Afu. Afu sticking around in the mid lane is going to get punished off by the Shadow Shaman. I'm not sure why Afu was still there. He already got the tier 1 tower, but obviously he stuck around a bit too long and Tim's is able to get the kill.
Really good punishment now from TnC. They might have dropped the tower, but they found some really big kills in exchange. They are starting to at least reel back some of that lead their way and mitigate control. Although Abed finds a nice one.
What the hell was that? Mid lane. Abed does just zip in apparently and get that kill. My apologies, by the way. I did kind of miss that one. He gets a bit of revenge there on the Storm. Looking back up towards the top lane, Gabbi is trying to catch up and farm on that Morph.
Radiant are scanning.
For now, he is allowed to do this, but his net worth is so far behind that I think Team Dog can allow him this little bit of space. And I do mean a little bit, because Afu is pinging out Gabbi.
Radiant's middle tower.
In fact, he's going to go after his courier now, but Febby will stomp him before he can finish it off. Gabbi starts Agi morphing, trying to take down this Leshrac. He might not have enough, or he does. The Flame Break will come in from Armel. They'll ensure the kill, but now the chase might be on. But no Team Dog. They don't want to go down that tier 1 tower. They'll just leave it be. It looks like they're more than happy just defending their own tier 1. And well, Ice, he's back up to the top lane. And it's going to mean you are going to have a very tough time trying to take down that tier 1 top tower. But they're going to try. They have the lasso up. Break will be there. Ice.
Stop you.
Some new effect with the Hood of Defiance. Nice deny out.
Purpose. Yeah, really
Ice gonna get a deny, but yeah, I'm not sure if it's on purpose either.
I think it's because of the ghostly form. It's kind of bugging out in that. He's got that ghost Tide, so the particle's not lined up. Still, deny off. That means the efforts they were getting in trying to get that gold isn't there. And Team Dog are still fairly satisfied. It takes 4 years to secure some lane control. Ice is still a massive nuisance. They've got all the space out here for In Your Dream. team to just keep farming up. Abed's almost got his Kaya. It's going to be a build-up into the Bloodstone, and there's just no real answers yet from TnC. They might be waiting for the next nighttime. They do have an urn up on KP, but they do smoke up already. Maybe just going hunting now.
They do have the ulti of KP as well, so they don't really need the nighttime to be there. They can make their artificial nighttime, which is even better than actual night. And well, they're currently on the route to go after Abed, which is probably the best target they could ask for. Love to get this kill. KP can have his smoke broken, but he can't close the gap. You need that initial Hex or Shackles out from Tim's first. So instead, they turn back around. Ice is going to loop there with Arfu and Polison. They want to try and have a crack at Febby. And with this zip in from Abed, it's going to be a nice, easy kill as TnC will not want to fight into the Ravage of Ice. And even if they avoided the Ravage, it's just so hard to go into this Tidehunter right now. With this net worth deficit, they are not feeling too comfortable to take a full-scale team fight.
They've got to just find the pickoffs if possible. If they don't find it, just go back to farming. They are starting to get some space back here for Gabbi. He's been giving a huge burst to just farm around this triangle. So he's not too far behind now, just about 1k behind in your dream. So all things considered, a bit of a good recovery there for the Morph. Still going to be a while until he gets some initial items up. Looks like they are going to set their eyes down for that bot tier 2. They've got all their heroes down. A good ward is going to stop any successful rotation though. But Abed is smoked up. Maybe, nah, gets spotted out by the tower. So that Invis actually not going to help him out as much. But they've got this push potential still waiting on Team Dog. They've got the Edict ready to go. They've got a huge frontliner. They've even got In Your Dream in the general area now as well. So it could be time for a push here on Team Dog's side.
Tim's trying to push out the bot lane and try and make sure they can't go for this, but he is forced to TP away. In Your Dream actually throwing out the multi-shot to just try and double check. They really want to find this Shadow Shaman, but he is not going to be around. But while he's not around, like you said, tier 2 tower going to be very easy to take out with this Drow Leshrac.
Radiant's bottom tower.
That is exactly what they'll get started on. TnC, they are not making the rotation over, so they don't feel confident enough to try and go for this defense yet. I do agree with that sentiment as well from TnC. I don't think it's a smart decision to try and defend this right now. They are instead trying to push out the mid wave with this siege creep. Only problem being is Team Dog is still going to have time to come back and defend it. And they could try to force a big team fight if they want.
I mean, they're still sitting on that Ravage on Ice. Looks like TnC are aware that the spell hasn't been used, so they're just playing it safe. Go back to farming that Guard jungle instead. You are starting to get to the point where you can start to jump in with Armel. Does have his blink with travel.
Stupendous!
Got the opportunities to play with the lasso if he wants to. The issue is, no one else is showing right now. Ice is not the target you go for with the lasso because of the Kraken shell. So they're just going to have to hold steady, wait for another moment to reveal that, and keep playing the farm game. They're not too far behind Team Dog. It's only a 2k lead on Team Dog's end. They are losing a bit too much map control though in terms of towers around, so gotta be cautious about allowing Team Dog to just get this push game going. They're also leaving Abed alone for a very long time here. Kaya's done. Just a few thousand gold more away from the full soul booster into that Bloodstone. And this is what Abed loves. You called it out, but if he has a good start, he will go greedy and go for a Bloodstone rush. And if you don't punish him, this is a huge snowball for him.
No, I do agree with that sentiment, John. I suppose TnC, they're just giving Gabbi as much time as he needs. And in all fairness, he is catching up very quick. Second in net worth now. Just 1k behind In Your Dream. I'm not sure if this Ethereal Blade Rush is going to work out in his favor, but he seems to already assume that the BKBs are not going to be there from Team Dog, which he would be correct in thinking. And so if he can get a very quick shotgun up, TnC could definitely try and find an advantage with that.
Tower is under attack.
I mean, the net worth deficit isn't really that large. It's only 2k right now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They're even hanging out around the Roshan, just making sure the Team Dog can't get an easy entry into that pit. But they are now going to go for a smoke. Ice going to front line, might just break the smoke straight off the bat. He's going to run into Gabbi. Heavy around, KB will get started, they'll get the crippling fear off. Ice again is just so darn tanky, however. He's just gonna walk back around, looking for a Ravage, but there's your lasso out. They caught Arbed on the storm with the Hex out as well. But can they burst him down? Arbed, he does finally drop, and TnC, it's gonna be a 4v5 advantage. Do they keep going? Gabbi, he'll go on to Polison. They get the tombstone. Polison, he's gonna die. Ice still has the Ravage, is not gonna throw it out. They'll go after KB on the Night Stalker. There's your Ravage now, connecting on all 4 heroes. A massive Ravage out from Ice. Maybe they turn this, but Gabbi, he'll keep going. In your dreams down. Now Arfu getting surrounded. He'll also die, and Ice is the only man left. And with that, he should just be dead. He's a very colorful Tidehunter apparently right now, but he should eventually just die. And he will, a full team wipe. Out for TnC. And I'll be honest, Sean, I didn't think I'd be saying that, just judging by how the game was going for Team Dog, but TnC, they make it work. And they find the first full team wipe of Game 1 of this grand final.
It was just a bit too scattered out from Team Dog. They were trying to pierce high ground from the low ground. So they were walking up the ramp. Ice was already caught out. You had Abba trying to flank without getting any information out. And that's when we saw the Shadow Shaman effect kick in. Tim's already had his Aether Lens. His reach is just a bit too long. You also have to appreciate what Gabbi did. He turned into the Undying, dropped his own tombstone. The slope prevented Ice from walking up and helping. He could not get in position to break off the shackles with his Ravage. Really heads up play from TnC. Very forward thinking there and zoning out the movement of Team Dog, and Team Dog got punished hard. In Your Dream now is second in net worth because of that death, and the Drow Ranger is a hero that likes playing from ahead, so playing from behind is not really something you want.
Big smoke up. Arfu, he's going to be targeted. A nice way to get started, and now Polison going to be jumped by the backlines by Gabbi. Find anyone else? No. Polison is going to be the one. Arbed, he'll zip behind In Your Dream just in case the Drow does get caught out. The TnC once again finding 2 nice pickoffs on the supports of not T1, but Team Dog. And that'll allow Tims to get his blink up, but the jump is there from Arbed, and he actually catches out Tims. So they get the Shaman. Ice now after Armel, but he is running way too quick on the Bat Rider. Even skip the creep wave just to be a real nuisance here towards Team Dog. And that'll pretty much be it. TnC in the lead, slight net worth lead, and a 13-7 in terms of kill score right now. Gabbi is getting ever so close to that shotgun, and as I look around at the heroes on Team Dog, John, I don't see any BKBs coming up.
Gonna be a bit costly not having that way of preventing the damage from flying through. At the least, you've got this Manta style ready on In Your Dream, so you can dodge it out on his end. But the disarm's gonna hurt our Storm, and damage is gonna hurt everyone else as well, and you have to be a bit cautious. Gabbi's confident now.
Middle tower
He is. He'll start strength morphing though, as he does see Ice TPing into the outpost. He's just gonna back off to safety. No need to rush. They still have plenty of time to grow on TnC. As I say that, Nightstalker ulti has been popped. They found Arbed. Tims does catch him out, and there is Armel with the lasso to catch him out, and now Arfu trying to TP just behind, but KP was there with the stun out with the Void. Tims on the Shaman. I mean, I questioned it earlier, John, but it's paying off, and now even in the mid lane, Ice once again is a bit of a rainbow Tidehunter right now, but that's not what he wants. He doesn't want to be colorful. He just wants to be alive, but it looks like that is not an option when you're fighting up against TnC, as Gabbi will pick up another kill on the Morphling. And Team Dog, after such a great start, it's just really falling apart.
It's not good. Abed's trying to play greedy, going around the sides. Tims with his early blink pickup now is just doing all the work for TnC, and this is what made the Storm pickup a little bit risky, right? Like the Shadow Shaman already has that Hex, has the Shackles to take care of the Storm, so you're always going to be concerned. This allows TnC to go straight into the Roche pit as well, and does die very fast. You do have Abed up if he wants to zip in, but it doesn't look like Team Dog are aware at all. So straightforward pickup for Gabbi. He's got a lot riding on his back now, has his full E-Blade up, so the shotgun is ready to go. Team Dog have smoked up though. This is a bit of a risk, smoking up at this moment.
It is in your dream. Gonna move front lines here for Team Dog, and they aren't gonna run into anyone yet. They'll have to try and invade the Radiant Triangle if they wish to go for a big team fight. TnC, it seems like they're somewhat aware that this is happening. They're sitting very far back and waiting patiently for the smoke. Ward dropped. They should see Gabbi farming, but Abed gonna zip in after Armel, but he's already fireflied down to the low ground. Abed playing with fire there. Be very careful, that Shadow Shaman does have a blink up. That Hex could come at any moment, and that is a max level Hex. TnC not gonna try and pursue anything more after that that mishap from Team Dog. Gonna back off and bide their time. The rest of Team Dog, they're gonna back off and start slowly setting up for that tier 1 top tower. They will have to be slightly cautious about the mana pool of Abed for now, as he is quite low, but it looks like they are only here for the tier 1.
Top tower is under attack.
Yeah, just the safe push play, finding what they can get. TnC are sneaking around with a big smoke, though. They could catch a couple of heroes out here. Abed's too far off to back up.
Oh, this is very, very bad news for Team Dog, and Ice, he's going to be targeted first, but they don't get the silence off yet. Ice, he does have the Ravage, but there's your silence coming out. Now the lasso in the back lines. They're caught in your dream. They've got the drown, but the Ravage is going to fly out. Abed, he'll zip back in after Gabbi, but he does go down. Ice, and Abed both dead, and this is looking really bad as Arfu also dies. There goes in your dream. There goes Polison. Gabbi on an ultra kill on the Morphling. And TnC are playing this game perfectly.
Team Dog. Yeah, you saw what happened. Abed zips in. Tims is always ready. There's just no angle for Abed to even go for the backline in the middle of a fight like this. The Ravage was nice, but there wasn't any follow-up. They just got torn apart by the initiation of TnC.
Look at that, John. The Shard Wards in the mid lane.
Oh.
He can just use the shackles near a tower, and he'll actually get some. Look at that. The Ancients come out now. He can actually farm Ancients with these shards. This is actually pretty legit.
No, it's actually broken. It's an 8-second uptime on the wards. Your shackles are 10-second cooldown, so yeah, you have some pretty broken stuff that comes out here. What happened?
Abed is going to find the broken hero himself, and he gets hexed up, which means Arfu will be forced to take the kill.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, I don't know. It does seem kind of strong. I'm not going to lie. When I read it up at first on the patch notes, I thought it was such a stupid Aghanim Shards. Just 4 wards being placed. But then, if it farms Ancients that quick, it's like, maybe it's not so bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's 4 wards. His ult gives 10. You have to consider the value proposition for that. It's pretty massive. And of course, that's tied to his ult. Like, the natural cooldown of Mass Serpent wards is 120. So even having 8 seconds of wards is pretty significant in helping you get those objectives. So it's really nice to see that being maximized here by Tims. Of course, this is because Tims was allowed to farm up KP.
That's very true. KP gonna get rooted in place. Arfu's still in massive danger as now Gabbi's gonna come in with the shotgun. Arfu gonna get blown up by Gabbi. No matter how many patches or how many years go by, one thing will never change about TnC, and that's that they love playing Morphling. Baby, he's gonna be okay. He cops a few of the multi-shot, but ultimately is gonna be okay to walk out. And John, is there ever going to be a time where Morphling isn't just a good pick?
Probably not. Probably not with how he's been reworked. There were times where Morphling was pretty dead, though. Like, there was a whole bunch of years where it was a pretty dead pickup, but it's been really dominant.
Nobody knew. Nobody knew how broken it was the whole time, dude. Abed. Oh, he jumped in on Tims. KP's there with the silence as well. Oh, Abed. It's the wrong target. You can't go after the Shaman anymore. He hasn't got an Orchid up. Now the lasso's there. They caught in your dream again. This Drow Ranger is set to fall. He just cannot survive. And now Gabbi going in after Polis. And there's your shackles out once again. Tim's Shadow Shaman is something to look out for this new patch, it seems. In fact, they even found more. Arfu He just wants to go home.
That was lame.
It's Christmas. Let him live. He will die. And there
no,
you
they
go,
can't.
GG. I think they're too far behind now. Up against the Morphling as a Drow Ranger, it just doesn't feel good.
No.
I bet he's trying to rush a BKB. It's a mess.